Welcome. We are going live here with the Right Bros podcast with three of us Parker, Justin, and Gabe. Coy had a family emergency, so he couldn't join us this evening. So, whatever is going on with Coy's family, we'll be praying for him. So, we're here. We're going to have a good time regardless. Right Bros -1. So, I'm excited. We've gotten a great response from our first episode. It is so amazing the response that we've gotten, the comments, the views, the individual messages that we've all been getting. Man, I can't say thank you enough to the positivity that y'all have been sharing with us, and I just want to say thank you, and I know the other guys will say thank you as well. We just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, to listening to what we have to say, laughing with us. Like last week, we had some solemn moments talking about Charlie Kirk, and I know that y'all still mourn with us in that. So we just wanted to say thank you. I mean, it's been remarkable the response that we've gotten from this.
Absolutely. I mean, since Sunday, we've gotten a lot of support for the podcast, but also just in general in the news. It's crazy what can happen in one week since last Sunday. The amount of news and tragedies that has happened since last Sunday, I was ready to make an episode like Wednesday. More leftist, violent behavior, just more saddening stuff in America to talk about, the stuff that we have to advocate and fight for.
Yeah, there's definitely no no lacking for things of us to discuss. I mean, this is a very very interesting time. But I feel like that's always said that people it's every year every generation's like, oh, this is the fight, but like this is really a
Yeah,
very very sinister time
I
in this
agree.
Mm-hmm.
country.
It is dark. It is very scary. Especially being, I mean, Parker can't relate because he was born in like the 40s, but Justin and I, our generation, um, uh, I mean, Gen Z, we're kind of going through a ringer right now. Not saying that other generations are, but we're the ones we're rising up, uh, younger. We're the ones going to start new families and buy houses, and it's scary. It's scary, especially us in college campuses that have to advocate for this stuff. A lot of violent stuff happens. And speaking about college campuses, we're going to talk about the incident at Tennessee State University. Are you gentlemen aware what has happened? The video of the two podcasters went out there, right? Um, you seen that, correct?
Oh
No,
yeah.
because I was born in
Okay.
1940s. I helped fight World War I, so no, I didn't see all this
Yeah.
shit.
Parker's a baby boomer. Maybe, I don't know. He was before that actually. Um,
Yes, I did.
but
I
yeah,
put up with it.
yeah. So these two gentlemen, basically, they went to Texas State University with typical two college guys wearing MAGA hats, just at a table on a microphone, asking the college campus questions. And I'm not gonna play the video, but there's the video of them, and it's kind of horrendous what happens because there's a large group of students start to form, and basically just harass them, like harass them to the point that they have to leave.
It looked like they were
Throwing
getting
stuff.
verbally attacked too.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it started out with them picking up their signs and walking away with it. Um,
Well,
I don't know what.
the campus didn't even kick them off. The police decided to escort them out because it was so dangerous that they were like, we have to we have to move y'all away from here, or else it's going to turn violent. Now we should preface that it was at an HBCU, and nothing wrong with that. But I mean, I would say two white guys going out there with a sign to try to doing it at a place where you're gonna have a lot of pushback. Maybe should have been talked to the univer- They should have talked to the university first, got
Hmm.
security and things like that. But nevertheless, these guys were violently pushed off of this campus, and
Right.
they were bullied and hurled slurs at them, and they had their signs and their property stolen and destroyed just for sitting out there. It just shows the lengths these people will go to silence us.
Right, and it's sad because it's just like this could happen at any college campus,
Yeah.
and it's ridiculous. Like we're allowing this behavior. This is the institutions that are creating the future of America, right? Educating America, and they're just getting violent, and it's just absolutely sickening. You guys can keep talking. I have a video actually. I want to pull up showing this.
Well,
Y'all can talk.
what astounded me is that it's a violation, assault on the First Amendment altogether. You know, they want to talk about Jimmy Kimmel getting taken off for a week, and that was a violation of the First Amendment. No, you had two kids, their age, their peers, who were sitting there just wanting to open up a dialogue, and then they were verbally accosted. I mean, they were some of the videos I saw with other things from other people. There was some really horrible things hurled at them. And it goes back to being called Nazi, racist, all these things that we get called just because we're conservative.
Right. Anyways, I can't finally get a video of it now, but basically, right, it's just violent attacks when they're in their car, they're throwing stuff at the car, cursing at them, throwing up the middle finger, and but there has been a statement after that event that was placed by Texas State or Tennessee State University. And the second paragraph on this statement says that campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from the university grounds without incident. Without incident. This is the part where it's going to get funny right here. At all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. Let's repeat that again. At all times, the students were conducting themselves in a professional and respectful manner. This is the type of stuff that the left want to change their rhetoric to make themselves look better. They'll never admit, they'll never take the blame. They'll always find a way to make themselves. They're trying to rationalize everything they do that was violent.
Well,
I mean, yeah, we're gonna go off on the guys. There's literally not only were they escorted off campus, but there was a huge mob of people that followed them from where they were set up on campus over a mile to where they were parked, followed them to their vehicle, tried to stop their vehicle, were trying to destroy their vehicle, the whole way out. If that's professional conduct, then I mean, Bill Clinton, he was a very good president then, because I mean, if that's professional conduct, then Bill Clinton did great with Monica Lewinsky.
yeah, and this professional and respectful. Respectful would be opening up a dialogue and carrying on a conversation. Even if you disagree, you could still carry on a conversation. But the video I saw was not professional, was not respectful. They were rude as all get out. I just, and this is just going back to how our education system is. Here we go. Gabe's pulling up the video.
So I'm not going to play in volume, but you can see just, I mean, they're just surrounding this table, right? Sure, whatever. You can protest and all that, but it's just like, it's just throwing verbal attacks.
You can see the police had to surround them and to keep them from getting hurt, and then so they just follow them out. Like, these people have nothing better to do with their lives than follow them all the way home.
I don't know. They need to get like a trespass.
Yeah, trespass. Let's issue them a trespass on a
Trespass
public
from public property. Yeah.
Yeah.
That boy, he thought he was gonna come up like Charlie
Yes.
Yeah, come up like Charlie Kirk, blah blah blah. This is
That's
the echo
professional.
chamber
Oh,
everybody.
absolutely. That's
Yeah,
professional.
That's professional.
That's Tennessee State University's best right there. These are people, by the way, who will go into the job market and steal your job and take jobs off of the market, and because they have a college degree but this is what they were doing in school. They weren't learning history.
Future teachers, future professors, future doctors, futures everything, and they're just violent and throwing. It's ridiculous. And the fact that the university has the audacity to say that they are professional and respectful is so stupid, because anyone with a single ounce of brain cell can tell you, wow, that was outrageous. That is not professional. That's not respectful.
Well, the young man at the end there who brought up Charlie Kirk. I mean, this is after the political assassination of Charlie Kirk, and wanted to make that comparison. How disrespectful, how rude, and this school making up this and saying they're professional, respectful, that just angers me, because now we're making excuses for bad behavior. This is why I may be dating myself. I know I'm older than you guys, but this goes back to gentle parenting. Gentle parenting doesn't work, because if you take away the Game Boy and give it back, this is what you're going to happen, because kids are not taught that, hey, your actions have consequences. And then when consequences happen, they're like, oh, we didn't know anything about it. You know what? This is why you should bring back the Switch. I had to go pick my Switch and got spanked by it from my mother because I acted wrong. And that's where you learn manners. That's where you learn to be professional. That's where you learn to be respectful. And we're not seeing that because these kids did not get spanked.
But yeah, I mean, and then we have a single motherhood crisis in this entire country. And I was listening to a statistic the other day. 72% of black families are single mother families. The father's not there. And the number of just overall families, white and Hispanic and Latino, whatnot, has increased tenfold. It's astonishing. But you're exactly right, Parker. I mean, these people are not. They're not taught respect, or even this is just maybe they just broke away from their parents and went on their own thing. But to say that this is professional conduct is absurd.
It's stupid. Yeah, and you said Game Boy, Parker. That's how you know your age is right there. But yeah, I mean,
loved it, man. That was the times.
But yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with the fact that there's a parenting issue,
and
even with parents, there's too many soft parents today.
Well, it's like, and it goes back to the fact is if it is parents funding this education, these kids, and to me they're still kids. Y'all are kids to a degree because I'm like billion years older than y'all. These kids are on college campuses taking out loans. If they're taking out loans that we're paying for, because thank God Joe Biden and Kamala Harris didn't get a second term, because they would have had those student loans forgiven. It would have been our money paying for them to do this. Or if it's their parents paying for it, we need to go back to taking accountability for our actions. And if I were their parents, I would have called them into my home, set them down and said, let me tell you something. I am paying for you to go to school to get an education. You're getting an education. You're not making any political statements. You're not doing any of this. You're getting your education, getting a job, and being a productive member of society. Mic drop.
I agree.
Well, I mean, and like the Charlie Kirk thing you mentioned, how he was mentioning Charlie Kirk, it just goes to show the point we've been trying to make is that it wasn't just Charlie. They don't see just Charlie Kirk as being, as he was him, he was killed, he's gone. They see all of us as Charlie Kirk. They want us all gone. They treat us all like him. Anyone who has any views similar or just close to that side of the aisle, to them is a Charlie Kirk. And when they're saying it now, they're not saying it, oh, you remind me of Charlie Kirk. They're saying it, you need to die like Charlie Kirk. That's exactly what they're saying. And don't tell me different.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios, don't pee in my leg and tell me it's raining.
Absolutely.
And I saw a funny post on social media. It was like, there wasn't any of this political violence when Joe Biden was in office. And it was like, well, because y'all were in charge. And when we were in charge...
That's not even true.
No.
That's not even true. In 2020, they burned down the entire state of Minnesota.
Exactly. And it's like, well, there wasn't any issues like this. I'm like, well, because...
Well, because the Democrats are funding these people to do this.
Or not, yeah. And it's like, we're not irrational. But when we're in office, y'all get mad and start making moves like this and then blame us for causing the gun violence. Because, Republicans are pro-gun, which means we're instantly the bad guys. Which goes to the second point of today's episode of the ICE facility shooting. The Dallas ICE facility, right, that happened September 24th. Homeland Security posted this. So anyway, Parker or Justin, if you have any input on this incident.
Yeah, absolutely. So this just goes to show we were talking about left-wing violence. This is another area of left-wing violence that we're seeing. Now, what happened, for those who have been living under a rock, is that someone who is described as a quote-unquote furry, which I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, took a gun, wrote
Is that confirmed that they were a furry?
Yes, according to a couple of the news sources I've seen. That it was someone who is identified as a furry and lived a furry lifestyle, which you can tell you right there, that is not a conservative. That's not a conservative.
And they don't have good parents.
Yeah, went and got on a building and started shooting at an ICE facility in a van. Well, what they ended up doing, which is just astronomical, they're thinking, oh, we're protecting illegal immigrants and we're protecting these. I'm sorry, they don't call them illegal because you can't be illegal in stolen ground. These immigrants, they call them immigrants. I'm sorry, undocumented. Let me rephrase that. And ended up shooting and killing some of the ones they thought they were protecting.
They shot two detainees. No ICE officers were harmed. And
Yeah.
They killed two illegals.
So, I mean, they did more harm in hurting those that they were trying to protect. And this just goes to show you, this is more left-wing violence. The radical left, if it's something they don't like, they're going to take a gun and kill you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Mm-hmm. And back with the media, right? They will say that this was us. This was another conservative. This is another MAGA-driven crazy man. Even though, let's see the bullets right here. Anti-ICE written on the bullets, people. Anti-ICE. That's very Republican, if you don't know. Apparently, to the left, it's just stupid. Stupid. Another example of rhetoric trying to be pushed.
And I wanna preface something here. Notice those bullets and notice that stripper clip that they are on. The weapon that the guy used was a World War I, World War II, time rifle that was not a AR-15 or a weapon of war. This, if you look at the picture of this thing, it looks like a hunting rifle, and it is a semi-automatic 30-06. So, I mean, not your typical rifle that you would use if you wanted to kill a bunch of people. Now, the kid was confirmed to be he was a communist. So this was also a gun that was used by the Soviet Union or Soviet. It was like
Soviet era.
Yeah, absolutely. And so even going back to the gun argument that they're going to say that we need to take away AR-15s. Well, this guy just tried to take out a whole bunch of ICE officers with a semi-automatic rifle that was 60, 70 years old. And like Parker said, going back on the whole idea that we're the violent ones and we're not out here burning down and destroying stuff. We don't have when Biden was in office, right? And he would start up these, I don't know what the Biden's big thing was. I guess it would have been like Planned Parenthood clinics or different
ice
things
cream
like that. But you don't but you don't see conservatives. I mean, you may see very small niche Christian groups outside of these Planned Parenthood clinics, but they're not out there every day impeding on the operations of whatever the Biden administration put in, or you never saw conservatives standing outside of federal buildings impeding the work that the Biden administration was doing. But you have ICE protesters standing outside of their offices all over the country all day and all night, stopping cars, trying to beat up the ICE officers, trying to take off their mask. And most of them are getting arrested and the hell beat out of them for it, but rightfully so. But again, it's just another example of how crazy these people are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it goes to the point is that they're saying that they're calling ICE the modern day Gestapo. It's Trump's Nazi Gestapo, blah 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 blah, and they're saying the bull that's coming from them is saying, oh, they're coming and they're taking citizens. No, they're not. They're not taking citizens. They're taking people who are here illegally, who broke our laws, who entered our country illegally. They're taking them and sending them home to where they belong.
Mm-hmm. I'm wearing a featured Louisiana special. Louisiana lockup, Angola State Prison. Recently, the Department of Homeland Security has opened up a new wing of Angola State Prison, the most notorious prison in the country for violent and long-term criminals. And we are now using a wing of Angola State Prison to hold the worst of the worst illegal immigrants, like Alligator Alcatraz. But we have our own here in Louisiana.
Good.
And so I encourage everyone to
lock 'em up.
Louisiana lockup shirt.
Lock 'em up.
Lock 'em up. That's exactly. From Crew Tracted, you get permission from Crew Tracted.
Get permission from contract. This is state, state properties is private property. But it's crazy, like the effort that Louisiana is leading on these deportations. Louisiana's going overtime with it. If you don't know, Alexandria is one of the busiest ICE hubs in America. As a pilot, there's like flights, hundreds of flights going in and out, full of deportations, and it's just nuts how like Louisiana is the powerhouse of all this.
Well, luckily we have a governor, like him or not, we have a governor who's willing to work with the president, who's willing to work with Homeland Security, who is making sure that we get illegals off the street that Jesse Waters from Fox calls bad hombres. We're getting them off the street, and we're sending them home to where they belong. They're not American citizens. This is not their home. They don't belong here, and they need to go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's not like they're trying to assimilate either.
No.
They don't speak English. They don't fly our flag. They don't stand for our national anthem. I mean, a lot of them who come here and go through a naturalization process are great. And
absolutely,
we stay, and we love to welcome them, and they would love for them to assimilate. But these people, they're not coming here because they want to be Americans. They're coming here because they want to be Mexicans, or they want to be South Americans. They want to be whatever country they've come from, or Chinese. They want to be that nationality, but they want to abuse and live off of this welfare society that the United States has created, where we just send us your worst, and we will give you free handouts. You don't have to work. You can live off of my money, y'all's money, just because we feel for you.
Well, that's the whole point. We're looking at a government shutdown, the Democrat shutdown, because we're wanting to pass a clean resolution for, was it 7 weeks? Mike Johnson, who's speaker, who's a friend to all of us here.
Funded through November 1st.
Yes, I think it's like 7 weeks or something like that. And what the Democrats are doing, they're using this because they're wanting to have appropriations, but they're using this to pass, to give more, to fund giving money to illegals, giving them health care, giving them welfare to illegals. And this is what the Democratic platform is, and they wonder why they lost in 2024 so badly.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have Kamala running around with her new book saying that it was the closest election in modern history. I wouldn't say 312 electoral votes for Trump is the closest election. And he won the popular vote, which Republicans historically haven't done.
No, we haven't. Yeah,
we did in 2004, and then we didn't do it before that for I think till 2000? No, we lost the vote in 2000 to Bush and Gore.
It's been 20 years at least. Well, she's going around to book signings looking drunk as all hell, like she always is, slurring her words, saying that it was such a close election, and she did so good with her 100 meetings that she had.
No, she didn't.
But you have top Democrat officials saying how horrible she was. You have Stephen A. Smith, who has been a longtime friend of the Democrats, saying how Kamala was a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for the American people, it stopped us from hearing that cackle for 4 years. And then
that was pretty good, Parker.
Thank you. And then God forbid, Tim Walz is vice president for 4 years. Oh my gosh, Mr. Jazz Hands himself.
Yeah, and I don't understand the echo chamber. I don't know how that has to be so mentally degrading of putting yourself in an echo chamber like that, to believe that you thought you were gonna win and you thought you were close. That's gotta be a mental illness issue right there.
She lost every blue wall state.
Yeah,
she lost every swing state. Well, it's just like what we do when the Tigers lose. We just
make excuses
open up a bottle, make excuses, and just it's okay. Next time, you did good. Even though Garrett Nussmeier and Brian Kelly absolutely suck.
That game, dude, really made me angry because there was so many missed opportunities. Garrett Nussmeier is not playing like he did last year. Last year, he was a beast. He was a powerhouse, and he was missing throw. I mean, it was such a horrible game. It was so bad. And, Mr. LA Tech guy over there, he probably don't even know what we're talking about.
Go Dogs. Go Dogs. Go Tigers. That was so sad. I felt bad for you.
Throwing up gang signs on our podcast.
Go Dogs. Anyways, it's a sad weekend. It's a sad weekend for Louisiana football. For LSU and the Saints.
Saints lost. I was watching that today.
Yeah.
They lost. Man, and I got an alert on my phone. For those of us, in southern Arkansas, as like Justin likes to call it, or East Texas, Cowboys are playing. So, we're recording this on Sunday evening. So, we'll see. I know a lot of Cowboys fans up here.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of Cowboys fans for sure. I know a good bit of them.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
I know a lot of liberals. So.
But yeah, the Cowboys is still one of the I'd say one of the better NFL organizations when it comes to politics.
Yeah. So but moving on to one of our other topics, we were talking about the illegal immigration situation. Did y'all hear about the superintendent in Des Moines, Iowa, who got arrested and is being deported because he overstayed his visa and was here illegally? If that's not a kick in the pants right there, that you have an illegal running a school system.
How do we allow this to happen? How does this? Yeah. Do we not run background checks? Do we not have verification?
Yeah, every job I've ever gotten, they run a background check. You figure it would light up in big red letters. This person is not a citizen of the United States. You have to be authorized to work in the United States to get a job. You have to have that visa. And this guy had overstayed his visa, was not a citizen of the United States, and yet was put into he was making $300,000 a year. Let me repeat that again. $300,000 a year in tax money because he was in the school system. He was so this guy was living a luxurious life on the taxpayer dollar and was not a citizen of this country. Every person that we've ever hired, we go through a very strict background process. It would immediately pop up that if they were illegal.
Yeah, so I'm reading the report.
They want to.
Yeah, I'm reading the report here on Newsmax. He's from South America and was considered a fugitive. No shock. Was
In
subject
South
to.
America?
He was from South America.
Mm-hmm.
But where was he a fugitive at? Was he a fugitive?
I don't. I'm trying to see where that is. It just says he was a fugitive. Was considered a fugitive because he was subject to final removal order issued in 2024. The agency said.
Yeah,
but
under
basically
the
what
Biden
happened was,
administration too, by the way.
Yeah, under the Biden administration. So a fugitive here in America. So anyway, I said that it was Robert. Basically, he was arrested by a traffic stop in a school-issued vehicle. By the way, school-issued vehicle. He identified himself and fled. The agency said the officers later discovered the vehicle abandoned, and the Iowa State Patrol was called out to basically help find him.
Wait,
and then he was soon.
Can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
An illegal immigrant evaded the police officers and ran away and committed a crime?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds like
There's a pattern.
Yeah, sounds like a respectful community member, and he should be free. Anyways. Yeah, so State Patrol finds him, taken to ICE, and it was unclear where Roberts was being held Friday afternoon. Yeah, whatever. Roberts, who described himself as a longtime gun owner, hunter, and was in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed-blade hunting knife when arrested.
What kind of school superintendent carries around $3,000 in cash?
In the school-issued vehicle, by
Also,
the way,
did it say he had a firearm?
Yes.
I thought it was a federal law that you couldn't carry a firearm on any school grounds at all, on school-owned property.
Right.
I don't know the laws in Iowa, but I'm pretty sure Iowa isn't that sort of state where they let their teachers be armed.
Right.
Like here in Louisiana.
Man,
I feel like especially in a school-issued vehicle. In a school-issued vehicle, I don't think you should have any of those items in the vehicle. A handgun, $3,000 in cash, which is crazy, and a fixed-blade hunting knife. I don't think that's that's ridiculous to me.
Well, these are just the stories this is just the stories we're hearing. These
Right.
aren't the ones we're not hearing.
Right.
This occurs every single day.
But
we have a sitting member of Congress who married her husband to get citizenship.
I would hope she married her husband.
Yeah.
I mean, her brother. Forgive me. Excuse me. She married her brother.
And she's
to get
not from
citizenship.
Alabama.
No. She's from Somalia. That great country, Somalia? That country that we wish we could be like, where they poop in a hole and they're still chasing animals with sticks. That country that Ilhan Omar has pledged her loyalty to.
A country
who
she
was
left,
it?
by the way.
Who's banging on the drum or banging the pot for
That's
Palestine?
Talib or whatever the name is from Michigan.
Yeah, Palestine. This is helping people. Let's start hitting pots and pans for different countries. It's gonna help our nation. Elected people in Congress are doing this. How are we allowing this? This is ridiculous. This is stupid.
Well, they're being elected
And they're
by
singing.
constituents they're being elected by constituents that live in their districts, and their districts are majority Somalian, Muslim, and far left. The only reason Ilhan Omar is in Congress is because majority of her constituents in her district in Minnesota are of Somalian descent. I mean, look at Dearborn, Michigan. Look at Minnesota. Look at these places where United States cities are being overrun by Muslims and people from Muslim, Middle Eastern, North African countries, and they're not being shy about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know what to say.
Well,
Well,
go ahead, Gabe.
because who's the mayor running? Is it Mom Danny? Mom Donnie?
Mamdani.
Mamdani's
In New
running
York.
Yeah, and I read into some of his policies, and it's like the very pro-Muslim policies and the socialist policies. I'm like, what is wrong with this country? Why are we even considering things like this to be established in our country?
Well, they're pitching a fit because there's a law going through Congress which would outlaw any type of Sharia law courts. So you're wanting another a religious court. First of all, I thought we had this thing called separation of church and state that the left loves to talk about all the time. And so you're allowing a religious court to handle, and this is what's happening in England, they've allowed Sharia law courts to handle civil matters. They're not letting them do criminal, but civil matters. This is what they're doing in England. And what is it? 2 weeks ago, we saw multi-million person march in England because they're tired of immigration. They're tired of their cities being taken over by these people who don't want to assimilate. The point is coming to these countries to start acting like the people of these countries and not trying to turn them into the hellholes they left.
But did y'all see in England, like I just saw it today, there was a man who was sentenced to 2 years in prison for a Facebook comment.
Yep.
Yeah. How is that?
The West is done. The West
Yeah.
has been overcome, overtaken, and it has been destroyed. And they didn't do it with guns. They didn't do it with weapons. They didn't do it through politics. They did it through sneaking into the institutions and radicalizing our kids, radicalizing the colleges, radicalizing the schools, and then they buy off the politicians with taxpayer money.
How are we the fascists? How are we the bad guys when you're literally shooting our people, arresting people for online comments, which the whole Jimmy Kimmel situation was stupid. But he got back his show and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
And
'cause
still a failure.
We got people. Yeah, it's still a failure. And like we hold people accountable for the comments of making fun of Charlie Kirk, and people got fired from their jobs, which sucked. But people need to be held accountable. And when we're doing it, right? Sure, it was our version of cancel culture, and it was like, oh, you can't do that. You can't use our techniques against us. But we're still gonna do it to you regardless. And it's like,
We're doing it.
what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to sit here and just take all your, all the shit from you guys? I mean, like, when is enough gonna be from these guys from the other side?
Well, you have these moderate conservatives and these, they're not really conservatives, moderate Republicans who say, we need to be better than them. And to a degree, I mean, I completely agree. We should not go around killing people. You know, we are better than them, and we will be better than them. We're not going to resort to violence. But there is nothing wrong about using the tactics they have used for years. They weaponized the justice system against Trump, arrested 19 Trump officials, not just Trump. There's a whole slew of mugshots of people that the Biden administration arrested in regards to January 6th and the Russia hoax. And they're now mad that the shoe is on the other foot.
Absolutely.
It's not our fault. It's not our fault. You started it, we're finishing it. Our God is a just God. He is moral and he is just. And it is taught to us in the Bible that justice is a virtue. And justice is needed. And this is justice.
Retweet that. I got another point to bring up back to the whole us being fascists, I guess. So, as you guys know, one of the contenders for the 28 election, Gavin Newsom, 2 days ago, you probably definitely seen this one. Yeah, Newsom. His press office tweeted this: Stephen Miller is a fascist, all caps, fascist. Yeah, days after, not days, but weeks after Charlie Kirk got shot for the same rhetoric that they're pushing for calling him, a fascist, racist, whatever.
Well, Stephen Miller, someone went outside his home where him, his wife, and his kids are, and was writing derogatory things about him in chalk on their sidewalk. And then you have this good-for-nothing piece of whatever expletive you want to use, Newsom, wants to sit here and call us fascists, and then they want to get mad because we're mad because, yes, you're shooting our people in your rhetoric, but then they want to say, oh, the president and these Republicans need to tone down their rhetoric. No, maybe you need to tone down your rhetoric and stop killing us, and maybe we'll stop getting mad at you.
Right.
Well, let's preface this, too. Stephen Miller is a Jew. He is a Jewish man. I don't think you can call a Jewish man a Nazi.
Right. Which is ridiculous.
He's from a Jewish family. His ancestors saw what fascism really was. And they have no clue what fascism is. They have no clue. They can't
what they're
define
paid
it.
to say,
Like they can't define. They can't. Oh, you're exactly right. But they can't define what a woman is. They can't define what a man is. They can't define a lot of simple things. Gabe, can you pull up the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, Abdullah Hamid, I believe his name, and Hamoud, or however you say his name, telling that Christian gentleman to that he was not welcome in Dearborn, Michigan, his city, because he was not open to his kids being indoctrinated by Sharia law.
Okay, so this was at the city council, right?
Yes.
City
I believe
council
so.
thing? Okay, I'm gonna try to find the clip. You guys keep. Let's see.
Well, Dearborn, this has been an issue because I can remember back in 2010 when the Tea Party was going. I was going to Tea Party events, and we were talking about this with Dearborn and Sharia law and the radical Islamic takeover of these cities. This is nothing new, friends. This is something that has been happening for a very long time. It's an occupation. It's an occupation.
Good word.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it. This is what's happening in the UK. This is why the UK is protesting. This is why people in France are protesting.
This is why the Reform Party is soaring in the UK.
Here we go.
Okay, I think I found the part where he starts talking about it. So, anyways, so he talks about.
He was saying he did not want a street named after a Hamas terrorist.
The comment I'm going to make is not looking for a rebuttal is the best suggestion I have for you is to not drive on Warren Avenue or to close your eyes while you're doing it. His name is up there, and I spoke at a ceremony celebrating it because he's done a lot for this community. And I think it's quite hypocritical to know that you're approaching this podium when you yourself have videos on YouTube standing in front of my mosque saying the cruelest of things about Muslims, about the religion of Islam, because you are a bigot, and you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city, will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city, because you are not somebody who believes in coexistence. You're somebody who tries to preach it, but in fact, you do everything. But that. So I just want to put that on the record.
Dude, that is what is wrong with this country. You're telling your people that, oh yeah, just you don't belong here. You know, you have your own opinion, but it doesn't belong with me. So please leave. Just close your eyes and just leave.
You're telling a citizen of your city that you're not welcome. You're not welcome in my Islamic shithole. Okay, you're not welcome. And I would have looked right at him and been like, I don't want to be here. But I say, you, sir, you are not welcome. This is my country. I'm an American. You have pledged your loyalty to the Middle East. This is not your country. This is my country. If we were there, this would have gone a lot differently. Unfortunately, that guy probably felt like he had no power because he was he's outnumbered now.
Well, it goes back to the same talking points. All the Democrats, and this is what the Democrat Party wants. And this is all they know how to do, call us Islamophobes, call us racist, and they preach coexistence, but they want to coexist with people who agree with them. They don't care about coexisting with us who disagree with them. What they want to do is shoot us and kill us. That's their version of coexistence.
Well, the definition of coexistence is to be with people who are different from you. That is the definition of coexistence. Right. Mm-hmm. And so another simple word that they do not know the definition of. And I'll say it straight up, because like we've discussed, I'll be the radical one. I don't want to coexist. He's exactly right. We don't want to coexist. I do not want to coexist with people who are from the Middle East. I don't want to coexist with people who hate this country. I don't want to coexist with people who shout the Muslim call to prayer at 5 a.m. on sirens from mosque in an American city. This is a Christian nation. This is not a Muslim nation. This is not a Buddhist nation. This is not a Hindu nation. This is a Christian nation. Okay? The founding fathers wrote the Constitution to allow for the freedom of religion, and Christians are under attack. We cannot practice our freedom of religion because it offends the minority religions of this country.
Well, it just goes back to being, it's not cool to be a Christian. Let's just throw that out. This morning, I got to speak at church, and we talked about not repaying evil with evil. But then I made a statement, and we had talked about this. Our institutions, our educational institutions, and I'm going to say this, I'm not against going and getting an education. An education system should be teaching, not radicalizing. But there are so many people who go into these educational systems who go in with a strong belief in Jesus Christ, and they come out an atheist because that's what they're taught, and it's being drilled in their heads 24/7. There is no God, there is no Jesus, there is no salvation, there is no heaven. And when you're hearing that for 4 years, or however long Gabe's been in school, when you're hearing that for that long, you start to believe it. And we are a nation that's based on Christian moral values. Because it's not Islamic moral values. Islamic moral values tell you to go and find the Jew over behind a rock and kill him. That's their moral values. Our moral values are we don't repay evil with evil. We do good to people. As the Bible says, we heap coals of fire on their head. And we're honest. We work. The Bible says those who do not work will not eat. So that's our moral values in this country, and they're distorting it because they want to turn us. It's like the people leaving California. They leave California, go to Texas, vote the same way, and then they want to start complaining why Texas is starting to look like the way it is. If you're leaving a place because it's horrible, you don't elect the people who did it. You have to change. You have to want change. And that's not what they're wanting. They're wanting us to be like those areas because they want where they're at to fail just like where they left.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's typical jihad. I mean, they preach that Islam is such a peaceful religion and there's nothing wrong. Okay, sure. Let's go to a Muslim country. I'm not buying a ticket. I will pay for them to go to get a ticket.
I'll fly you. I'll fly you, Justin, myself. I'll drop you off.
I'm gonna jump out the plane and I'll land and I'll probably be shot on the way down.
Who's
but-
this skinny little
but
white boy?
Go to these Muslim nations and look around. Women cannot drive. They cannot attend school. They cannot speak. In American cities, okay, it was revealed on Glenn Beck's program on the radio. He revealed that there was a school in the United States of America where a mom went and brought her son to the school, and they were teaching Sharia law to the students. And this woman who was going to be a teacher there was told, do not talk in front of the men because we do not believe that women have a right to speak to men. Go to these Muslim countries and see how it is. Women cannot drive. They are forced to cover themselves from head to toe in 100-degree heat. If you are gay, you are stoned and hanged. There is no such thing as freedom in an Islamic country. And any recognition that there is a flat-out lie.
And this is the beliefs they want to bring to America, and the push on us. They want us to assimilate to their religion and their ridiculous rules. This is not going to happen, right? I mean, luckily the three of us, including Coy, we're very strong valued men. We believe in the Bible. We believe in God. We believe in America, Constitution, and Declaration of Independence, all that good stuff. This is not going to happen. And if it does, they try to push it, right? We have to stand our grounds, people. We have to stand for what's right? Continue fighting in the offices, continue voting, right? We can't let these people get in office. We have to do it respectfully. Unlike the leftists, right? We don't just go out and kill people. We actually follow the rules and go by, and vote and talk it out instead of just getting violent.
Well, it's like the old saying, you've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true.
Right.
And so we're moving on to one of our last topics because we're in the last, 14 minutes. This hour goes by super quick, does it not?
This went quicker than last time.
It did, because I got the time, and I'm watching it, and I'm trying to be mindful of the time. So we're going on to one of our last topics that we're going to talk about, and then we have a very special announcement that we're going to give at the end of this, and I am super excited about this. So y'all stay tuned. We're almost done, and I want y'all to hear our amazing announcement that I'm over the moon for. So as we saw,
it too, after.
Oh yeah, and so James Comey, who was FBI director, was indicted. He was indicted on 2 counts. I think one was I'm drawing a blank of the names of what he was indicted for. But
Obstruction of justice and lying to a Senate committee.
And so
misleading a Senate committee.
So we're seeing what we're starting to see is these people who have lied about Trump. These people who have done everything they can to weaponize the Justice Department in lawfare, we're starting to see their chickens come home to roost. And now, I find it so ironic right now how the Democrats are right now screaming that this is weaponizing the DOJ, that they are using this to prosecute political opponents.
Yeah, let me remind the general public real quick. Weaponizing the DOJ. Yeah. This is for those who are on Spotify.
That was the biggest mistake they made too.
Yeah, this is what this.
That's hanging in the White House in the Oval Office.
Yeah, this is the exact for Spotify viewers. For those who don't have the visual, it's a mugshot of Trump when he was indicted. Whatever. This is the reason why he won the election. It started here. This is actually, for me personally, I got tired of politics past 2020, but when they arrested Trump, I knew this was a witch hunt, and this was ridiculous. And since then, I've gotten a lot more political since this moment. Weaponizing the DOJ, right? Oh, it's wrong. It's wrong. We can't do that. Even though they did the same thing. Ours was reasonable. Theirs was just, they tried to find the most ridiculous dirt to arrest him.
Well, this is why he's not holding back now, because that's the face of a man who said, y'all done effed up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so, it's aggravating to me, and I'm trying to keep my composure because I get so aggravated with these liberals, and they're trying to say this is now You know, this is what fascists do. They weaponize the DOJ. But, okay, so he was indicted by a jury of his peers. Now, there was another charge that they did not indict him on because the evidence wasn't there. So, obviously, there was some sort of evidence, real evidence, to indict on this. So, I mean, it's justice. It's bringing justice
Right.
for
There
all
wasn't a
the
jury.
stuff.
A grand jury didn't indict Trump. I don't believe. I
No.
believe it was a radical attorney general who
Very
arrested him.
radical. Very radical.
I don't believe it. I don't think Trump got a jury, and that's the thing. They're saying it's the weaponization of the government, but it's not like Trump said, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, go arrest James Comey. They said investigate. He said investigate it, and then it went through the process and went to a grand jury. How most white collar crimes and big public official crimes go through a grand jury. And the grand jury of 14 of his peers, I believe it was 14, a grand jury is a little bigger than a regular jury, and indicted him. So this was not lawfare. I mean,
No.
if the Republicans were really after him and it was up, and it was a hand of Trump in the whole thing, the whole reason it happened is because of the Trump administration, then they would have got him on a lot more charges.
Oh, yeah. And what you're seeing now is they have gotten away with this for 4 years because the Biden administration, you know, President Otto Penn, allowed this to be swept under the rug and allowed it to the clock to play out on a lot of these statute of limitations. I mean, you're seeing reports coming out that on January 6th, 260 undercover plainclothes officers
74.
or so, I didn't know the exact number. I knew it was a large number. Were there in the crowd. Now that begs the question: who put him there? Which he was director of the FBI during the time. Who put him there? Why were they there? And I know this is going to sound like, oh, it's conspiracy theory. What did they do? What did they do?
Right.
Every conspiracy theory that they claim is a conspiracy theory turns out to be just a factual theory.
Right.
I mean, I've seen videos of these plainclothes FBI agents breaking windows and letting protesters in. They were there for a reason, and they were not there to curb the fascists that the January 6th protesters are called a lot of the times. They were there to make a spectacle and make it as easy as possible for them to steal the 2020 election. As we all know, it was 100% stolen.
Yep, absolutely.
No way that old geriatric, I almost said a bad word there, got 81 million votes.
Well, the reason being, and I see this, and, you know, I've never considered myself a conspiracy theorist before, but it's like our Senator John Kennedy said, you know, conspiracy theorists are normally right. Was it 9 months later or something like that? He made a comment like that. What we're seeing, and I love John Kennedy. He's awesome. Most quotable senator. But the thing is what you're seeing, you cannot, I don't care what evidence they produce, you cannot tell me that the COVID-19 situation was not orchestrated to try to take the election from Trump, because they wanted to steal it in 2016, but they thought there was no way Trump could win, so they did it in 2020. They used the guise of a pandemic, which honestly, I think if you investigate that, you're going to see the Democrats' hands all over that pandemic, and they used that to make sure every American's vote counted. So you got these people, God knows how many illegal immigrants were given the right to vote in California and these other states with these mail-in ballots. There was no way to police them. There is no way to police these mail-in ballots, and that's how they did it. They did it through mail-in ballots.
Oh yeah,
Ridiculous.
Trump's doing away with that. Hopefully, officially. I mean, he says
Yeah.
he's.
It'll have to be
Going
up to
to.
the states. The states are the ones that will decide that. It'll be up to the states. Now, I don't care what they do in California. I don't care what they do in New York. They'll never go red, I don't think. I mean, there's a possibility, but I don't ever count on them to be red. So I think we just need to go back to the way voting used to be. You go on election day. And in Louisiana, we have, a week and a half of early voting in person where you can go down to your early voting location that your clerk of court or register of voters sets up, and you go vote in person. It is not like it's a mail-in ballot or anything. You go and you stand in line, you put in that little card in the slot, and you vote. I vote early every single time because I think the Democrats beat us with that. So I think Republicans got to get on that train of voting early to maintain an early lead. But we just seen this time and time again with this early voting or mail-in voting mess. It's what caused the problems, and now we're seeing it. We're seeing the results of it, and people are complaining. Oh, how was there not as many votes as 2020? Because y'all stole the election. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would make everyone aware. Early voting for the upcoming October 11th election that we were having. Not everybody, it's not a statewide election, but there are local elections going on that are very important, and early voting has started. It started on Saturday, September 27th to October 4th. We have early voting in Louisiana, and then the election day is on October 11th for some local races. So if you haven't voted or aren't planning to vote, check it out, see if there's anything you can vote on, and get out there and vote.
Absolutely. And we have, and next before you know it, we're going to have a Senate race primary in April. We are less
Right,
than
that's
half of a.
insane.
We're qualifying starts in January. That's 4 months away or 5 months away. I mean, so it comes around quick. So we need to make every opportunity we can to make sure we vote, have our voice heard, and understand that in Louisiana we're going to have closed primaries. So if you're Republican or no party, you can. If you're Republican, you can only vote in the Republican primary. If you're Democrat, you can only vote in the Democrat primary. If you're no party, you can pick which one you can vote in, but then you can't go out and vote in a different one. After that, you're going to be in that, as of now, you're going to be in that category. So, we need to make sure that we're educating people on, elections and voting.
And I would advocate that it should be entirely closed.
Oh, I agree. I
No-
absolutely agree.
No party should not be able to vote. The closed primary bill was great, but it was flawed. It got screwed because allowing the no parties to vote. We all know why they did it.
Yep.
Allowing them to influence Republican and Democratic primaries is just if you want to vote in a Republican primary, register Republican.
Absolutely.
The Democrats will be putting a very prominent Senate candidate in this race. I feel like it's going to be announced soon, so be on the lookout for that. But then when it comes to the United States Senate race in Louisiana, it will not. There is a Democrat senator, a Democrat Senate candidate coming in, and so we're going to have to rally behind a Republican and make sure that we retain the Senate seat. Because
Absolutely.
If we have all this
Absolutely.
infighting among all of these Senate candidates, that Democrat candidate is going to get the nominee because Louisiana is still majority Democrat
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the voting numbers. When it comes to the Secretary of State. So y'all be on the lookout for that. But I won't say who, but I have very good info saying that it will be somebody of good prominence.
You get the inside scoop. Okay.
Okay.
Inside scoop.
Well, all right, y'all. We are getting to the closing minutes of this podcast, which, this has been the shortest hour of my lifetime.
It's crazy.
We spent a lot of time preparing for this. We spent a lot of time texting back and forth. Hey, let's talk about this. Let's do this. So we spent a lot of time preparing for this and getting good topics to talk about because that's what y'all want to hear. Y'all want to hear our opinions on stuff, and it's been wonderful. But I have an announcement, and I am so excited for this. I'm so excited. So next week we're going to be recording. Drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. Next week we are going to have the legendary Moon Griffon on our podcast. For those of you who I know, we love Moon. Moon has been on the air for 30-something years in the state of Louisiana. He has been the voice of conservatism here in Louisiana. He has called out members of the legislature. He's called out Republicans, Democrats, and he has been such an amazing force in Louisiana for conservatism. And he holds elected officials accountable. I mean, he has held our current governor accountable, the previous one, even before that, going back to Bobby Jindal. And so he is a great person to have on. So we're going to pick his brain about his many years of being in broadcast and then hearing his advice for us. And this is big for us, guys. I'm going to be quite honest with you. This is huge for us. Moon has thousands of people that listen to him daily. And then, he's filled in when Dan Bongino had his radio show after Rush passed away. he filled in several times as a guest host on that show. So Moon has a pretty decent following, like him or not. I think this is a huge get as a guest for our podcast.
Yeah, we're very excited. Very excited. Can't wait to get to talk to Mr.
Moving up
Buffon.
in the world. We're moving up. We're moving up. We're making waves. Look out, people.
All right. So in the closing seconds, anybody
yeah.
have any final thoughts?
Yeah. Look out next couple of weeks. We're gonna drop Justin in a Muslim country with meta glasses on, and he's gonna spout his beliefs. So look out for that special episode.
All right.
I'm in the business for a bulletproof bodysuit. If anyone would like to donate.
We'll get you a little bomb suit. We'll get you a bomb suit. Don't worry.
I mean, they can't shoot for nothing, so I don't think they can't hit the broadside of a barn. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? Don't want to take it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Again, we wanted to thank you so much for tuning in and listening. It's been astounding, and y'all have no idea how deeply appreciated y'all are by us. We deeply appreciate you in tuning in and listening. So we'll see y'all next week, the shortest hour of our life. We love it, and this has been amazing, and hopefully we'll have Coy back with us next week. Shout out to him who couldn't be here, but I think we did all right without our bro Coy. Well, all right.
Missed him.
Yeah, we miss having him here. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all. God bless you.